Oh yeah, sexy biscuits. Nice.
Long Boys Blues, 1975. A using words on the rise. Reviewing games late at night and sometimes friends used to bug. Long Boys Blues, 1975.
Hey YouTube, Lawn Boys Post 1975, and welcome to, well, it's not a Wednesday vlog, it's a Tuesday morning coming home from work vlog. Why? Well, there wasn't a Wednesday vlog last week, so I do really, apologise about that. It was hot as hell, and me and heat don't get on, and so I was miserable, wasn't feeling too great, and I wasn't feeling it. I had stuff to talk about, but that's alright mate, you don't need to signal. I had no real sort of fire in my belly, so I thought I'm not just going to go through the motions, because I don't believe in that. I do believe in, trying to be sort of consistent and doing a Wednesday vlog. I've missed a few before, but if I haven't got anything in my belly, then I don't really want to, just go for the motions, because that's not fair to you. That's an insult. In case you're wondering what this is my dash cam for recording, because I came to a very close near miss the other day where some bloke just didn't look right, pulled out of a junction. If I didn't have anti-lock brakes, I would have been toast. So I thought, I'm getting a dash cam. And so you're thinking, well, why are you filming a cam with a cam? I'm not. What you can hear me on and see that I'm filming my dash cam with is my actual phone, because it's got good audio. That hasn't got good audio, but the reason I use that as my dash cam is because it's kite marked and insurance recognised. So footage from that they cannot argue with, because we know what insurance companies are like. It's all about wriggling out of their responsibilities, isn't it? So anyway, yeah, ignore all that. It's raining, which is my favourite kind of weather, but it's the reason I'm kind of doing this today, if you will, which is I walked into my bedroom from my sort of activity room this morning, or yesterday morning, before I went to work, if you will, and I got hit on the cheek by something, looked up, and there's water coming in through the roof, and I was like, oh, great. So the bloke's coming on Wednesday. This is far more information than you need to know. The bloke's coming on Wednesday, and I don't know when to fix it. So I thought I'd do this. And also, worst thing ever happened to me is getting a smartphone, because then you can hit your brakes at work, check your Facebook, your YouTube, all that shits and giggles. And yeah, so I was checking some of my PMs, and it's something I've touched upon from time to time, but never really sort of, given an answer to and glossed over it, because you're probably thinking of the title, well, where did that come from? And that simply is why I don't have, or why I won't have, a Patreon. Again, someone asked me, and they didn't actually mention on the fact that a couple of my other vlogs, I've always said, Patreons, for people who've got them, I don't want one. And they said, well, why don't you go into more detail about why you don't have, or why you won't have a Patreon? So I thought, yeah, I will. That's where this came from, because when you get left to yourself for like 7.5 hours, a night at work, I don't know, having something to think about, a topic to engage it's kind of productive. At least to me, it makes you feel like you're doing something, or you're at least passing the time. So anyway, now first of all, this isn't a disclaimer just to stop, because I'm sure it'll piss people off, but hey, a disclaimer to stop that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with people who have a Patreon. Excuse my wipers if they're noisy. Well, that was all right. There's nothing wrong with it. There seems to be this stigma. I don't know, maybe it's because, if people have had a channel for ages or a while, and provided consistent free material, then people somehow feel like, hey, they're asking for money. Oh, screw you, who do you think you are asking for money? And I would like to say, do you know what? I don't see it like that. No one put a gun to your head. No one said, like, I mean, if you watch when people say, would you like to support me? Would you like to support me? Those are the key phrases here. Like I said, no one put a gun to your head. No one said you have to do it. So when people get like, anger to and leave it in the comments, I'm done watching you, I'm gone. You're cool, your choice. They never said you had to, especially if you still get all the material you would get anyway, then what's the big deal? Like I said, I don't get that. And I'm not, this isn't addressed to anyone. I'm not having a pop at anyone who's just started one or anything like that. I'm just saying it's not for me, because it's come up from time to time when people said, hey, why don't you get a Patreon? You could buy better equipment, or you could do this, you know, or get a little bit of extra income. And I think one of the reasons that it's come up, you know, more frequently, you know, and in PMs and stuff like that, is because I've been on it for 6 years. So, you know, it's safe to say that because I've been around for a while, I'm not saying I'm big, important, popular, or anything like that, I'm not, but because I've been around for a while, you know, and I don't know, I guess it means he's established, he's not going anywhere, he's committed, then why don't you know, get a Patreon, get some sort of, you know, sponsorship going. And I just think, you know, part and parcel why I don't advertise. I don't want the extra deal of having to deal with worrying about copyright quite so stringently. But the way I see it is, I started this as a hobby. You know, that's all it is. More or less, it's a hobby. And people say, you know, you could get a little extra income. I don't want income for this. I have a job, you know, and plus I shouldn't be getting income for it. If I was to have a Patreon, and I'm not, my point would be, the way I would feel more comfortable, justify it, was the route where people say, you know, use it for better equipment, you know, and stuff like that. But I don't need it as an income. We don't need it to provide anything for my channel. I'm happy with my production. Does my production look good? No, not really. But I'm completely unhappy and comfortable with it. And when you see people say like Patreons for buying games, and again, you know, when people go, oh, I'm not buying his games, it's like, well, no one said you had to. You can still watch that person's channel. You know, I buy games. I don't really consider them an overhead, because I buy games anyway. You know, I'm going to play games anyway. It's not about, you know, it's not about, you know, I need someone else to purchase them for me because they're part and parcel of this channel, if you know what I mean. It's like, no, they're just, you know, happen to be something that I enjoy playing, and by sheer accident discovered that people, to some degree, I guess, enjoy watching me play or hear my thoughts. That's the other thing, which is I'm not a review channel, so, you know, I don't want anything for what I do. I'm not professional, you know. I don't want to upgrade my stuff. So all these arguments are mute, which is you could upgrade your equipment, you could do better standard stuff, but I wouldn't know how to do game reviews. I wouldn't know how to do that level of, you know, professionalism and stuff. I'm just a bloke who cocks about, gives you his views, you know, once a week in a vlog, maybe a couple of pickup videos, both things that don't need a level of, you know, production value, if you will. You know, I don't have editing software, and to some degree I don't want editing software, you know, because I'd have to learn it. And again, while I like to think I'm passionate, there's a level of intelligence in me, and certainly to some degree my, you know, my videos and my channel is presentable. I don't want to have to learn stuff to, you know, and be all shiny and fantastic, because I don't see myself as TV. You know, the other thing is, with this being a hobby, other people who have Patreons, it is their life, or they want it to be their life. So fair enough, you know, if they want, you know, or they're asking for people to contribute. I've got to say, by the way, I have contributed to Patreons. You know, it's sometimes I, you know, stop contributing to them because, you know, at the time it's nothing to do with the channel. It was to do with, you know, finances, and on occasions I have stopped contributing to them because they went, and it wasn't, you know, anger or anything, they went in a route that I just wasn't interested anymore, you know. Not, you know, not to be angry or a dick or go back to this route, just, yeah, you know, fair enough, you've evolved into something you know you like more than what you were doing that I liked. So yeah, anyway, I think that's covered that. I've waffled enough, which is, I don't need any of this stuff, this equipment and things like that. But the biggest reason I don't want a Patreon is I don't want to charge people to watch stuff that, quite frankly, I don't think it's worth anything more than free. You know, like I said, I would never charge for it anyway, but you couldn't charge for this. Look at it. You know, it's beneath cable access from the 80s, and I would never feel right charging for it. You know, that's one of the reasons. You know, the second reason is, and I don't really need any money for this channel, even if it would make it look better. You could argue there's a certain irony with those two reasons and why I wouldn't. One leading directly into that, for it could look better. So the fact that I wouldn't feel comfortable, you know, charging for something that doesn't look better, but won't accept money for equipment because I don't need it. Yeah, I kind of understand. I contradicted myself, but I stand by both those points. But yeah, I wouldn't feel comfortable charging for it because it's not worth it. It's a bloke playing games, swearing, cocking around, walking down a high street with a shaky cam, using his phone, a dodgy camcorder, basic computer that's half broken, basic editing software. You can't charge for that. I mean, Christ. I should be paying you to watch this, if anything. But the other thing I could charge for it. And again, as I said, keep in mind before people start saying, oh, you know, people patrons. No one said you have to pay for it. You know, only maybe you get extra perks and stuff like that. But no one said you have to pay to watch that person's channel. It's not as if it's somehow a subscription. So keep that in mind when I say this, because I'm sure it might piss off some people. But hey, I'm gonna say it anyway. Which is, I feel that everyone who watches me, especially my long-term viewers, especially the people I recognise, you know, the names consistently in the comment section, that have since day one, who, you know, we talk to, you know, back and forth, you know, most of the time, and have crossover value into Facebook and become really, really, really good friends. Here's the thing, you're my friends, you know, you're my friends, you know, or I don't feel like I can charge my, that's a very awkward place to break down. Should have got yourself a dash cam, mate. But a bum. Yeah, I couldn't or wouldn't feel comfortable charging my friends. You know? I don't again, this is just my thought. I don't, you know, say to my mates on a Saturday night, hey, wanna come to the pub? Well, yeah, I'll come to the pub, Dave. Sweet, that'll be £2.50 if you want to come to the pub and hear conversation. I'm taking the piss, because again, it's you know, it's up to you if you want to pay for Patreon. There's nothing wrong with it, and there's nothing wrong with people asking for it, but maybe it's just my personality. That's probably going to sound really, really weird. I don't know, you're my friends. You're my buddies. Some of you, you know, I may have never met you, but we converse on such a regular, you know, basis that you're not just digital friends, you're friends in the real world. So that's it. I couldn't charge, you know, even if people said, hey, it's all right because put it to equipment and stuff like that, but we've covered that. I know. I couldn't charge. So maybe I've waffled a pile of bollocks. Maybe, you know, I've overthought this or not thought it enough because it was me thinking when I was at work, killing 7 hours, you know, 7.5 hours of boring manual labour. But yeah, those are the reasons why I would never have, you know, I always say never Hey, if I don't get one, I'll look like a complete cock. But yeah, those are the reasons I would never have a Patreon. And again, nothing wrong with people who do. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later.